It's the best news I've heard all day.
Gentlelady's time has expired. Chair now recognizes Representative Burchett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. I think what you're seeing on display here today is the far left is sacrificing their moderate, a lot of their moderate members just to protect themselves. I think they're more important to stay in their corrupt little cocoon of power than to do what's right for this country. And I want to thank you, ma'am, for the work you've done. I noticed you were talking about real estate. I didn't have it in my notes, but I remembered in another hearing that we had in an empty building that we were renting out that Chairman Green had us, Marjorie Taylor Greene had us in the Doge subcommittee that I asked a question about, do members of Congress own real estate that's being rented to the federal government? And the answer was yes. And if we had legitimate media in this country, that would have been a 60-minute story. That would have been something that would have been done over and over again. And it's clearly, and they're stealing from all of us, the left, the right, the middle, everyone. And you clearly have a record of going after political hacks, and I salute you for that, ma'am.
This town is full of them.
Yes, ma'am, it is. And I'm from Tennessee, and we're sick and tired of paying for this garbage, and I want to thank you. Is the U.S. Agency of Global Media absolutely necessary to the function of the United States?
No.
Okay. To think that we're putting out some radio show in the land of computers and internet, to me, is very antiquated. We might as well be riding a Model T down the middle of the street. Maybe it looks good and it brings back old memories, but dadgum, it's not very efficient. And I see you're more of a efficient.
It's a relic.
Yes, ma'am, it is. It's a Cold War relic. And I'll ask you another question, a little more direct. There's a lady named Satara Siege. Does she work for the U.S. Agency for Global Media? Do you know?
I don't believe she works there anymore.
Okay, because in 2017, Ms. Siege was fired from the Voice of America, Persian news network, for lying on her resume, providing federal contracts to her friends, and using tax dollars for personal travel. In 2021, about 8 hours after Biden was sworn in, Ms. Siege was given a job right back at the U.S. Agency for Global Media. And during the last Congress, she and others at the U.S. Agency for Global Media actively worked to discredit a report from the committee by then-Chairman McCall, which detailed her actions and included whistleblower complaints stating she and others threatened subordinates at work. Are you aware of any other cases similar to Ms. Siege, ma'am?
Yes, a lot of the people that were implicated in that report, the McGuire-Woods report, who pilfered the American taxpayers' dollars and ran a very corrupt agency and were dismissed or left, then came back. And some of them are still holding positions, making hundreds of thousands of dollars at our grantees. This is why we're trying to do an audit of the grantees to find out where the money is going. Nearly $400 million, the hard-earned taxpayer dollars of hardworking American people are going to these grantees, and they've stonewalled us from getting any information until the 11th hour. Finally, last night, knowing I would be sitting here, they finally agreed to say, oh, we'll let you look at our books now. It's a joke, what's going on. And the joke is going to end, and we're going to bring some accountability to this agency because the people of this country are sick and tired of the crap going on in Washington, D.C. They're sick and tired of their money being spent in a way where it's not only being wasted, but where we're putting out Russian propaganda, where we're putting out CCP propaganda on Voice of America. This is a boondoggle, and it's an assault on the American people.
If I ever write a book, the title of it will be Compromised, because that's what this dadgum town is, ma'am. It is crooked as a dog's leg, and I'm glad you're doing something about it. Do you agree anyone who acts like Ms. C should be shown the door?
Absolutely, and we are showing people the door.
And I thank you for that. I come from a family of strong women. My mama flew an airplane during the Second World War. My little girl is, I got her a little late. I married her mama. She was a widow and adopted her. And she is a strong young lady. Shares a birthday with the president, just turned 18. And I hope one day she aspires to kick the hornet's nest like you've just done, ma'am, because it's a pleasure to have you where you're at. And thank you so much. And I appreciate you having to put up with all this crazy nonsense. But we got a country to save, and I hope you keep doing it.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you know, they've sued us. They've tried to stop us. They want to stop President Trump from making America great again. These same people who refuse to stand up and cheer for a 13-year-old boy who's battling cancer. These same people who stood on the floor of Congress and waved the Ukrainian flag after pouring $60 billion more into a war to kill more people when they wouldn't put a penny on our border. And they let our country be overrun with criminals coming into our country who are raping and killing young people and taking their lives. And now they want to try to fight President Trump every day and stop him from deporting people who came here illegally. And they want to continue running Chinese propaganda at Voice of America. I thank your mother for being a hero, for being a veteran. And I know the chairman fought valiantly for our country.
She wasn't technically a veteran. I have to clarify that.
Gentleman's
Her
time.
brother died fighting the Nazis while Daddy was off fighting the Japanese, but I'd have to clarify that just because of the fact checkers. But
Well, but
she
I
was
think
Gentleman's time is
the
expired.
gutsy little
I think
17-year-old
We have to
about-
move on to the
Okay.
next round of questioning here. Chair now
but
recognizes.
there's a lot of people who are rolling over in their grave right now who did die for this country.
That's right.
And when they find